Samsung really stepped up the game on their thinness on their Z Fold 7. Why it's such a shame to put a big, bulky protective case on a thin little phone like this. But some of us don't really have a choice. Some of us have 3 little kids or are clumsy to begin with. And then there's the people who just don't actually care. But even so, you should make sure that the case you're putting on your Fold 7 is worth giving up that thin form factor. And today here in the Purple Room, we're going to find that out about the UB Grip by a company called Supcase. Not much. What's up with you? You were warned I was dad. UB Grip. UB obviously and unsurprisingly standing for Unicorn Beetle. Perhaps this is Unicorn and this is the Beetle? It is a 2-piece case. You have back piece, springy hinge, also kickstand. Very cool. It has a magsafe ring, which looks to be off-center correctly, which is good. The charging coil on the Z Fold 7 is offset to the right, which means that if the magnet is centered, it's wrong. You want the magnet over where the charging coil is, because otherwise you get heat dissipation. Phone will heat up. It either won't charge at all or it'll charge slowly. Neither what you want out of your wireless charging. So that's good. It might actually be a little bit too far up though. It is offset down and to the right a little bit. So we'll see when we test the MagSafe. The other part of this case is front piece with built-in screen protector, 9H plus tempered glass. If you did not want a screen protector, then you're looking at the wrong case. You could use it with just the bag piece. Kickstand wouldn't work, so I guess you'd have to be really in love with the kind of metallic-y design to go down that route. Very easy to put on your standard take stickers off, put it on thing. The stickers even have arrows showing you which way to pull them, which is a nice touch. I will not be applying this to my case because I would just wind up taking it off again, and that's just a waste of glue. So we can still go ahead and go to the overhead. All right. Case weighs, whew, chunky. Well, we knew that. 95 grams, that's 40% increase in mass because the phone weighs what, 215? 216, 215? All right, well, it is a chunky case. That is what it's designed to do. And, oh, that snaps in there so satisfyingly. And this side, yep. All right, you can barely tell, but the phone did unlock very easily with the fingerprint sensor. All the little lines are lined up. Can we see that? Yeah, that looks good. Kickstand. It's here. I'm gonna flail out with my nerve damage. And got that there. Oh, it's got that kind of metally feeling polycarbonate. It's TPU on the outside. And it's got little pockets. It gives it extra cushion. That's why it really helps with the drop protection. I mean, it's got reinforced corners, and then also it's got the air pockets. Beefy case. We're talking like really good protection, but you know, you trade off the extremely slim form factor of the Z Fold for that. Let's see, it comes out extremely easily. Let's look through it again. This I already showed you. Snap, snap, snap. But it doesn't really come off accidentally. I had to get my nails under it and pull. Same thing on this side. All right, so that's good stuff. All right, well, let's go ahead and get the MagSafe tested on this. No, yeah, I can't see through that sticker. 34%, 2 hours, 5 minutes till full. That is not G2 power. Let's go ahead and confirm that with Ampere real quick. Ampere is a free app that lets you measure how many watts are being charged. Technically how many amps and how many volts, but you multiply those together and you get watts. Math. All right, so 1.4 amps and 3.87 volts. That's like 5.5 watts. That is not Qi 2. We do have another way to test as well. I can go ahead and make Franken-case. Take the back off this one. The back of the case I know works with Qi 2. In case you're curious, this is the Spigen Thin Armor. Franken-case. Kind of a nerd. All right, let's see here. 1 hour and 22 minutes until full. That is the Qi 2 levels I was expecting, which is too bad. I'm sorry, Supcase. You tried, you did. I can see that you offset it, but didn't quite get there. I'm not sure if it's the material. Not sure if it's the fact that it might be a little bit too high. In any case, you're not getting the full Qi 2. We've done away with Frankenstein's monster. Now let's see how strong the magsafe itself is. Yep, doing good. Oh, goodness, yeah. Well, that's unsurprising. Supcase does not skimp on their magnets. So kudos to that. Let's grab one of my MagSafe accessories. This is a power bank, and it is a good test to see. Nope. Yeah, your larger MagSafe accessories aren't going to work with this. The lip on the camera is too high and too close to the ring. That is another weird Samsung design decision. It's unfortunate. Makes a lot of cases not work with a lot of power banks and a lot of wallets mainly. It's hard to hold it against the case. You get bonus points, I think, if you do get it right. All right, the kickstand. It does stand up like that. It's not very useful, but it does. All right. Yep, that is stable. So good kickstand, nice little bonus to have, especially with a hinge this chonky. It's good to have a reason for that. All right, let's see how this works with my game controller. I like to play games on my phone, and one of the things that I like to know is whether or not a phone case will work with the game controller. I have the GameSir S5 Lite. I use it because it allows the fold to go up rather than down, but it does not appear to be working. Yeah, no light. Well, we can also try the Backbone, which is also very good with cases. Oh no, that's worse. It's the hinge. The hinge and the outer rim are just too thick. That's the problem with large cases, is they're large. If you want to use a controller with this, you would need to get one of the Bluetooth ones if you don't have one. Well, in summary, very strong MagSafe, weak MagSafe charging, and not playing nicely with your larger MagSafe accessories like power banks and wallets. But it does come with the built-in kickstand, built-in screen protector. It is extremely protective. It looks cool, it's very unique. And it comes in some colors, which is nice. I do not worry about anything happening to my phone while it's in this case, like at all. Maybe still theft. No, I would use this as a weapon to make them stop. So that's a good and a bad for this case. It is large, it is heavy. So it takes the thin form factor of this generation of Z Fold and says, no, you don't deserve that. You deserve protection instead. Which, you know, is a choice. So if you don't care much about having a battery or a wallet, assuming this is the kind of case you're looking for, this is a very good case. It is very protective. It does not give a flip about the fact that the Z Fold 7 wanted a smaller form factor. So if you are in that boat as well, you could do a lot worse than the Unicorn Beetle. So, does get Purple Room's seal of approval. If you did enjoy this video, hit the like and subscribe and the little bell so you can be notified of when I put out more stuff. I do have a number of reviews in the pipeline, including some top 5 lists, and this could be on there. Something's got to be the protective case king. So it's got a shot. This has been another Purple Room review. I have been Steve, and I will see you in the next one.